Hi Astrolifers! I haven't been I haven't done a live for quite a while, obviously as I was away for my trip overseas, that international tour between Bali, Belgium and France. And so I'm just going to start talking about it a little bit because yeah, I've got quite a few things to say about it. So yes, it was really like, at one stage I did post that it was like, you know, eat, love and pray. And it was kind of like that because we started with a pray, in fact, in Bali. And we had an amazing experience between sacred places like Tir Temple with the holy waters, and purification, meditations that were out of this world with Andre, someone that I'm going to be working with, because it was just so good that we're actually going back next year. Straight up, some customers that were with us signed up again. They said, look, Muriel, we want more. Can we please come back? And I said, yes, okay, let's do this. So it's going to be from the 14th to the 22nd next year. And yes, it was just amazing. There was some love as well, it's true, between the people that we met and how we got on, and some other stuff that has happened. I will go into that a little bit more deeply another time on another video to explain exactly what has happened over there, but it was just out of this world. Then it was love, and love, I'm going to give it to Belgium, because there were things, experiences that we went across in Belgium with some people that were just so nice. For example, at one stage I was running out of petrol, and yeah, a lady said, oh, come and follow me up. And anyway, I took the wrong line, so I was like, okay, she's probably gone. And no, in fact, she turned around in the U-turn and waited on the street, well, on the side of the street with her car, obviously, just to make sure that we could follow her to go to a petrol station. I mean, who does that? She didn't know me. I just asked her, where's the petrol station, you know? And everything like that is just done the best way they can, like with all their hearts. From, I don't know, we went to a coffee with a friend and had this beautiful things they do over there. I'm just trying to find the words, not pancakes, the other one, the waffles. And yes, and my friend was not really happy with her coffee, and they just didn't want her to go without her having the best coffee that would suit her. So they kept on offering her some different coffees to make sure she would have a shot of coffee. Again, who does that? I mean, these people are just so nice. It was just absolutely incredible. So I will give love to Belgium. And it's, obviously, I'm going to give it to France, because it's not because I'm French, but I have to admit, the food is just amazing. Like, if you are into food, I know there's all the history and cultural things as well, and so much history, but you know what? Food keeps on going with it as well. Everywhere you go, you've got different kinds of foods. Like, you've got this specialty in that part, you've got this specialty in that village, you've got so many things going on with the food. It was just absolutely amazing. Like, we were eating, you know, every kind of different things, trying everything out. My kids were just like losing it. They are so much into food, both of them, and it was just absolutely amazing. And obviously also the time that I had with the people there was just so nice. You know, it was catching up with friends, family, teaching to the people that I love, that I know over there, astrology, and giving them all the things that I could. And so that was really awesome. But obviously, the two other retreats, as I was saying, the one in Bali was just absolutely amazing, so spiritual. It was just absolutely amazing as far as that is concerned. And the one in Belgium, we had a lot of fun. Like, it was really, really a funny one. And we laughed a lot. Did my birthday over there, and I have to admit, to do the locomotion or to sing the way we sang all the old songs was just really, really cool. And the yoga, and even the place where we were, it was just in the country. It was just absolutely lovely, beautiful. Dr. Amy came, a lot of other people came, and it was just so much fun. It was just awesome. So talking about that, I am doing one again, as I was saying, in September. I still have some spots. I don't want to take too many people, because it's good when it is quite close and when we can really have time to share. So, and it is on special. It is on special until December. I've done an early bird price, which is 1,366. I'm not going to leave that price for long, obviously, because it is extremely good value, as you can imagine, with all this food included, organic, vegan food, with really beautiful products and the places and all the trips and excursions that are actually included in it. Everything is included, from the yoga classes to everything. So I'm going to leave that price until the beginning of December. After, I will go to the full price. So if you want to come along, I do payment plans or whatever. Just let me know if you want to come. And yes, so that would be good. Now, that being said, as far as this trip, which was absolutely awesome, and I thank everyone, every single person who came, please, yes, it's just absolutely amazing. So I want to thank you. It was just awesome. Now, the stars for this week. So yes, we have this full moon coming up, and this full moon in Taurus is going to be quite a full-on one. So it is good on one side, but not so good onto the other. I'm going to explain myself as far as that is concerned. It is linked with the planet of Uranus, which is going to bring some surprises. So there's going to be some good surprises, and but there might be some not so good surprises. So it's not going to be one where you are going to be able to cheat with yourself. It is definitely linked with what really makes you happy and what you want to do into your life and what sounds really with the truth. Because in Taurus, it is the truth. It is the essence of your own security, but also the essence of your own well-being, what makes you feel good. And sometimes we've got a wrong idea of what makes us feel good. Sometimes we think, oh, it's just going to be, being very successful and traveling the world, when in fact it can be spending more time with your loved ones or doing really the things that please you. So make sure you go and seek the truth into yourself. There's no point trying to cheat, because it is so strong in one sense with all these aspects, and there's 6 planets plus the moon, in a fixed sign. So it is so strong with that, and with the opposition with the sun, which is in Scorpio, which again in Scorpio it's very intense, and it is really seeking the truth. So you need to be honest with yourself. Like, there's no more saying, okay, I'm going to be content with that, or just pretend that I am satisfied with that. That won't work. You have to be really honest with yourself and what you really want and what really is going to make you happy in that sense. Now, because Venus is retrograde, obviously, it is linked with the self. It is not really the best time to fall in love, obviously, with Venus retrograde, or to really work on making new relationships. So really, it's all about you going into your own self and finishing that work onto your self-development. Because sometimes we think that we've got things under control, or things should be done onto a certain amount of time. But again, the universe is much stronger than us. First, the energies are extremely strong, the universe, and it's done on a purpose. Like, if we do have Venus retrograde at the time of this full moon in Taurus, with this aspect with Scorpio, it's really because it's about the self. It's about the self. So it actually stops you from falling in love or being in love with someone else. See how well the universe is organized, like, to make sure that that work would have been done. You needed to have Venus retrograde, because otherwise, of course, you can't really focus on yourself, because you are focused on others. So go back to that and make sure that you are doing that job, because it's going to be needed for the what's coming up, especially from the 6th of December. You need to have done that work prior, okay? Because we're going to big changes. And already I can tell you, 2019 is going to be much nicer and much smoother than 2018 has been, okay? A planet like Venus or a planet like Mars, there won't be retrograde. There's not going to be any retrograde in 2019. It's going to be a much more loving, peaceful year. So you need to have finished all that work on yourself before we reach that, okay? So that is what needs to be done. So obviously, because of Uranus, the changes are going to be there. There's going to be surprises. So be ready for that as well. It can be good or bad, surprises, but bad doesn't really exist into my world. So what I mean by that is that sometimes what we think is bad is actually going to open a golden door, is going to give you a golden opportunity, because it's actually finishing up, and that actually let space to open for a new door. So just be ready for some changes. No, you cannot do much about them. They are linked with the planet Uranus, which is obviously conjunct, which is in Taurus. So you cannot really stop it. It's actually going to happen, and just analyze it. If you can wait to react until the 29th, it would be much better. The reason I'm saying that is because on the 29th, we actually are going to have some awesome aspects with Jupiter, who's going to be there, with Mercury. Excellent day to sign contracts, to start things and everything like that. So whatever pops up, have a look at it. If you need, obviously, to react to it, in an urgent way, do it. But after that, to actually move forwards from it, do it on the 29th. That would be the best option to do. So it could be obviously some good or some bad stuff, depending on where it sits into your charts. But again, as I was saying, bad doesn't exist really with the universe. It's just helping you out, in fact, to make those changes that sometimes human nature doesn't want to do, Sometimes as human, we want to stay where we are, and we think, well, that's pretty comfortable there. Why should I make some changes? But remember, the universe wants you to make these changes. You need to move ahead. It's part of your evolution. So that's how it's going to make sure that you are actually keeping on moving forward. So again, embrace those changes. Again, and it's linked with the sun. We've got the sun in Scorpio, so it's all about the truth. So stay true for yourself and stay very honest with the life that you want. Let go of what you don't want, and try to forgive with love to those people who have been nasty, or the enemies that you've had, and try to stay at peace, because I know a lot of you have had problems in relationships. It was inevitable, and that started already last month in September, because of the cleaning and because of the full moon also that we had in Aries. So that was really full on, because it was actually linked with the self. So it was like, whoa, who am I? It was kind of like shaking you up, and the new moon in Virgo just prior on the 8th, 9th of September was also trying to give you a message, because it was trying to say, okay, this is where you want to go. This is the perfection where you want to be going towards to, and that also would have made some changes into you, some really good ones, and sometimes we don't see it. Sometimes some stuff clean up, or even some people around you clean up, and you don't really understand why on the moment, but usually it is done for a really good reason. Sometimes you don't know exactly what people are up to or who they are, into your life, if they are respectful, if they are really kind of loving you, supporting you, or understanding you. So sometimes, the universe is going to clean some people up, and if it does in the next few days, if, with all that, because it needs to be cleaned up, just let it be, unless it really matters, unless that relationship really matters. But if it does really matter, please wait in that case the 29th to have that conversation. Try not to answer too much, if things pop up, and if it did become like an argument or something like that, just wait on the 29th to kind of have an important conversation, because then that would be the time to have that important conversation, not prior. The stars are too strong. Go back to your truth, do it with love, say, to yourself what you want, what you don't want, analyze everything, and then it will be time to move forward on the 29th. Just let the work happen first, and then move forward. So yes, so Venus is retrograde from the 5th, started on the 5th of October until the 16th of November, and then it will be Mercury from the 16th of November to the 6th of December. This is why anything that is important for work, try to launch things only on the 6th of December and then after that. But that being said, day. So that would be a time where you can make an exception, because I know Venus is retrograde, but Mercury is not yet. And there's some really good aspects with Jupiter. So I would still think about that day to make a signature. Even though after that it might take a little bit longer to kind of pay off, it's still an extremely good day. Yes, so Mars is now full speed, so you should have some strength coming up, even though, yes, I know the aspects have been making you a little bit tired, but now I want you to celebrate that full moon. So, because it needs to clean up for you and you need to embrace it. So, what would be good is to do a ceremony. So, I know a lot of people, and in that case, when you do that ceremony, say again the way you want to be living at peace, what is really going to truly make you happy. And so how do you do a ceremony? Well, there's different ways, it's very personal. Some people do a light, big fire, then dance around it. Some other people, they put, all their crystals out and they do a prayer. Some people, they go and ground themselves into the ground and Mother Earth and try to connect, with the stars and the universe. Some others that just stay at home, put some sage, clean up, try to kind of see how they feel, do a meditation about it. It all depends, but as long as you celebrate it, embrace it, and at least write down on that piece of paper who you really are, what you really want, and let go of the rest. It's very important because some really good stuff is going to be coming afterwards. So I want you to use it to clean up, because that's what it's all about. It is interest, and it is very important. Now, what else did I have to tell you? So, yes, I want you to, well, not that I want you, I suggest that you do that work, yes, and also some people have been asking me, hang on, yes, so I don't want you to miss things, because otherwise, yeah, the stars won't be at the best until December. So yes, so also what I wanted you to know is that a lot of people have been asking me for some information for the stars and what's coming up in 2019. So I'm going to do a meetup on the 7th, 11th in Brisbane with Francesca, the meetup queen, Francesca Moi. And there I'm going to give heaps of information on what's coming up in 2019. So be there because that's going to be the only one I'm going to be doing until December. I'm invited to another one on the Gold Coast, but except that I won't be doing any until December. So if you want to be there and have all these informations and get ready on what's coming up in the next year, be there, because I'm going to give you a lot of good stuff and we're going to have a great time. Well, with Francesca, we always have a good time anyway. So yes, so come over and I will give you as much as I can. Now, yes, again, don't freak out too much with what's happening, because if you think, okay, it's cleaning up a little bit too much this week, again, know that by Monday, the 29th of October, Jupiter, the giver of luck and gifts, is going to be conjunct with Mercury. So it's going to be an awesome time to travel, for business, sign contracts. But I'll explain more next week, next Monday, when I'll be talking about that aspect and those stars, and I will give you some tips how to make the most out of that day, because it's going to be golden. So obviously it's 29th here, the 30th, depending on where you are onto the world, but the aspect is going to be really strong. So for one day or two, it will be really cool. So it will work on the 29th and the 30th, just before Halloween, and it's going to be awesome to make the most out of it. Okay, that's it for today. If you've got any questions, please don't hesitate. And yes, if you want to come along, please come along to that meetup on the 7th of November. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to give a lot of good stuff. And also, if you want to come to Bali, make sure you pick up that early bird price, because yes, after that, I won't leave it in December anymore. It's just a too good price to be left there. I'll see you soon. Bye.